presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to John in Orlando. John, what's going on, brother?
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Good. I'm going to tell you, I've been listening to you since your radio days back in '99. Appreciate what you guys do. But what I really enjoy that you brought back Tim Ward. This guy is as smart as a whip.
I am so happy for that feedback.
Yeah, because he's one of a kind. He's got to be the number one market timer. I'm telling you, it's like he calls it really good.
He does. I really appreciate the feedback, man.
Yes.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN. We got the S&Ps record territory in the last few minutes, 63.35. S&Ps do it again. We make another record intraday. We're up by almost 0.4% right now, up 22 points, trading at 63.30. NASDAQ 100 trailing a bit. You talk about a little volatility. Yesterday, you get a roller coaster. Today, you get it in the reverse direction. As in yesterday, you spike higher, you give it back. Today, you spike lower on the open. Right into the lows at 10 a.m. this morning when I was getting off the air. And since then, we've clawed basically it all back. We're right where we were at 8:45 a.m. this morning. NASDAQ 100, though, only index currently in the red, down by 16 points. Dow plowing higher, up by 269 points, or 0.6%, 44,987 in the Russell. Up by 0.75%, or 17 points to 2285. And yeah, as I was talking about on that update, how about Bitcoin, man? Bitcoin having a moment. And it just seems like the moments never stop. Up by 1.7%, $115,000 for one Bitcoin, man. Whew. What went through my mind, I remember buying and selling Bitcoin just to play online poker when Bitcoin's at $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Going back a ways, my goodness. But yeah, as I mentioned in that update, this acceleration, 1-to-1, brings you to 131,000. And what's cool here is you take a look at Bitcoin, okay? Percentage-wise, that pullback we had, like an exact 618, right? I did the 1-to-1 here, but if you take a look at the blue lines in terms of how deep that pullback was from where we were September prior to the election at 50,000, you trade up to 110, you pull back to the 618, and we're plowing higher past the B point right now. This is breaking to A to B, C to D, man. 131,000. We got 17,000 to the upside. And that might not take long the way Bitcoin can trade sometimes. Okay, we jump to yields. You got the 10-year right now, about 4.35%. 111.05, negative by 5 ticks. And yeah, the dollar finding a little bit of a bottom. We popped to 97.92 this morning. We're trading at 97.64 right now on that dollar. We check out gold. Considering the pop, gold handling things relatively well. As in, you've had a little bit of strength in the dollar. We were approaching, you back this up a little bit further. Yeah, when you had yields hitting about 4.19%. And since then, we're just off a bit. Gold handling things well. 33.32 right now, up by $12 on the session. You jump over to silver right now. There you go. Look at silver up by 2.5%, man. Okay, silver's breaking highs right now. Look at this thing. And silver, okay, could be doing an A to B, C to D, bringing it to $42. You got your B point out here in October. You pull back into the end of the year. And yeah, that high out there was 35.07. Okay. We hit 35.50 in March. But then look how you broke above it in June. When you break to a high of 36.51, you close at 36.13. That's how you break above the B point. Wide price spread, expanding volume. So silver's breaking out, man. Silver's heading at 42. Check out the silver stocks. First Majestic up by 1% right now. Heckle up by 1%. Some of the gold stocks catching a bit. Harmony barely in the green. You get the XAU about 0.8% in the positive, and the XAU and HUI both just finishing up a 1-to-1 right now. We'll talk to our man Tim Ord at 3:30. We'll talk to him about some gold equities as well in that gold market. So we jump to crude, back to a daily, and yeah, crude trading lower today. We hit this ceiling at about $68.50, $69 right now. We're down by $1.50 to $66.88 for the price of crude. And let's go over to copper. So, copper pushing higher, up by 13 pennies. Now, we've been chopping around here since last night, basically, in this 560 area. Basically, that's right where we spiked to initially on Tuesday on that news. And yeah, that's where we'll kick it off, man. Brazilian assets roiled by those tariffs. Volatility in Brazilian assets soared as traders assess the end game. And guess what? Might be coming for coffee, might be coming for some beef. And we'll see. And yeah, the real, of course. And yeah, politics merged with everything, but you better believe it, man. And everything, whether it's the assets there, but you're talking about copper, you're talking about everything in there. All right, so Bitcoin option prices, option traders, they're pushing it to 120,000. Well, I just told you. I think it's going to 131, man. All right, we're at 114,000 right now, but you pull it up, and yeah, Bitcoin extends record run. Option traders are targeting 120,000. Call options concentrated between 115 and 120. Well, guess what? We're already at 115, not quite, 114 and 175. But yeah, they're looking for some more upside, and I guess when this was written, it was at about 113,000. But yeah, so you got a concentration of those options. Longer term options expiring in late September and December. How about 140 to 150,000? Is it ever going to stop? Is that how this works? I'm not sure that's how it works. But one thing that's always out there that doesn't quite make sense is that you can use fractions of a Bitcoin for transactions. So at some point, you're going to be able to fractionalize it. Why have the demand for... Anyway. All right. Can't help but dig into that one, man. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, 131,000. This thing moves in waves, man, and it is moving with some strength right now. As I said, you're breaking above that B point. That's a weekly. You put it back to a daily. Yeah, even right now, the way you're breaking above. Strong volume yesterday. So Bitcoin, 114,000 per Bitcoin. Not bad. All right, we jump over to Amazon. Amazon Prime Day today. Holding up pretty well. You're just chopping around. You trade lower. What was that on? Tuesday, you rip lower on Amazon. There's your volatility. And yeah, we get back some of it today with Amazon shares down by 32 pennies. You jump over to Walmart shares down by $1.78, 1.8% for Walmart. Target to the flip side up by 3.1%. We're going to talk a little bit rotation. That's a great way segment. We're going to talk some rotation. As we got a great article ready, folks, talking about the laggards. Well, we got a rotation, man. Market rotation. Shiners. We'll talk about it. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks, and yeah, we're going to talk a little bit of rotation. So we take a look at these markets, and interesting on a day like today where you got the divergence, right? NASDAQ in the red, Dow up 266. How about the Russell up by 0.8%? S&P's right now in the green as well. And what this talks about, okay, it's an article from Bloomberg out this afternoon. I was reading it before I was coming on the program, and you know, Basil always talks about these rotations as well. And boy, when they happen, man, the moves that occur. So market rotation puts shine on S&P 500 losers as winners trail. Now, this is not a recommendation to ditch the companies that have been leading this market, folks. But in terms of potentially a little bit of oversold, overbought in that nature, yeah, I'd be taking a look at that. That's what I'm looking at, and letting price and volume lead me as it goes from there. Investors are taking profits and pivoting to underperforming sectors, fueling a reversal that's turned energy, one of the biggest losers, in the first 6 months of the year into this month's top gainer. Okay? And yeah, they have somebody here from Wells Fargo, and basically their take, okay, and it's whether this is true or not, it is a case of valuations, okay, AI. You've had trends that have been taking place for an extended period of time right now. This dollar move from 110 to 96, I thought it was going to 90, and it still may be. You got Chairman Powell under pressure today. The only way they can remove him is for cause, and now they're claiming they have cause, so it's always in focus with the rates, of course. I think it would still be a problem if that happens, so not sure it's going to happen, but everything's getting clouded. And then potentially the next person's going to be nominated early when in the pursuit of higher yields, okay? But check this out. So industrials, okay? Check this out. I want to get this one right, and I just want to, let me read. Here we go. Industrials. This is one that caught me most, where the reason why I want to cover this article. Industrials, the biggest winner in the first half of the year, okay, that's trailing sectors like energy and materials in July, has a price-to-earnings multiple that sits in the top second percentile of observations going back 20 years relative to that of the S&P 500, right? Contrastingly, the valuation multiple of the energy group, the S&P's top performer this month, is hovering near the bottom third percentile of readings relative to the S&P 500. Okay, valuations are elevated across most industries in the sector. And our models suggest it has the lowest odds of substantial outperformance during the next 6 months, okay? Into industries, industrials. So put that one on your radar as well. And yeah, Russell 1000. So check this out. Russell 1000 has seen a clear rotation out of the first half winners into the biggest losers. The 20 worst performing stocks over the first half have since gained 5.4% month to date, while the 20 best have fallen 2.1. Yeah. Now, don't go buying one of the 20 worst performing stocks in the Russell 1000, folks. Okay, that's what I am telling you to do. Don't go do that. But in terms of thinking about where this is going, there is a rotation here in these valuations. And you better believe it's possible when you got equities like NVIDIA trading at $4 trillion. A lot of price for perfection. Especially interesting on a day like today with the NASDAQ 100. It's been leading dramatically, slightly in the red. Strong equities like Meta, giving back some of the gains, down by 1% right now. You jump over to Google shares. There you go, Google up by 0.7% right now. Amazon, Prime Day. You know what's funny is, right, I've been harping on Prime Day. I found myself today, okay, saying, you know what, I do need a couple things. I need some air filters for the home for air conditioner. And so I am going to go on there. And I'm going to get things that I need, that I'm going to buy in the next 2 to 3 months, maybe the next 4 months. Right? Buy some air filters for the AC. There's a few things that are marked down dramatically. So maybe over the course of the 4 days. I didn't do it on the first day. Today's day 2, I believe, right? Nonetheless. And then, yeah, how about Walmart? All right, let's check out Walmart. This Walmart, man, you talk about strong like bull. But this has been a case of multiples. I remember reading articles, covered it on this program going back some time ago, talking about that the valuation and the forward earnings multiple on Walmart was approaching some of the highest tech companies out there. But that's what happens when you have an equity like Walmart that doubles in share price over a period just over 12 months, right? From $50 in 2023 to 105. And that's not counting that this thing's been on a rocket ship no matter how far back you go. Take this thing on the monthly, right? You basically chopped around from 1999 to 2017, which is really a statement in itself. And since then, you've quintupled in price. You know, think about what happens in these types of runs. Okay, you got an equity like Walmart that over the period in the 90s, when you were becoming the juggernaut that they were, you go from $4 to 20. What do? You quintuple in price. Okay, 500% banger in 3 years. Well, guess what? Walmart was still doing great, but then they had to grow into all those expectations that were priced in when you go from $4 to 20. Well, we just went from 20 to 100. It took us a lot longer. So that's your case that maybe you don't need to consolidate for as long. But yeah, folks, we're trading at $20 in 2015. Okay? You took 15 years to grow into that. Now, they took, they had competition. They had Amazon coming for their business, right? Everything went on there. But remember that when you see these types of run-ups, because this run-up from 2015 looks very similar, and that's what happens, quintuple in price. Some of these tech companies, my goodness, right? I mean, just some of the greatest companies going on right now, right? These runs. Oracle. Whew. Talk about stratospheric. I mean, Dell is on. Any company in the sector, right? From 40 to 180, back to 65, now we're at 127. So, on a longer-term basis, yeah. But there are some valuations, man. Even some of the biggest equities out there. I mean, you think Walmart's had a run. Microsoft, it's like a 10 times bagger since 2015. And you're at a 5-time bagger since 2019. Meta's done that over the last 2 years. Sometimes you got to grow into that. At least a healthy consolidation, a healthy pullback occasionally. But when you talk about rotation, all right, check back in on Bitcoin, 113,920. Check back in on the dollar, 97.63 right now. Yeah, that copper market. All right, folks, we got the S&P's up by 23. We take a look at the daily volume we're talking about on the S&P. Not too dramatic. Check it out, right? Yesterday, we do almost 1.1 million contracts. We're only at 725,000 right now. Kind of sputtering out. A little summer trading on July 10th. All right, folks, stay tuned. I'm coming back with our man Tim Ward. We're going to talk some ratios. We'll talk some equity markets, and we'll talk some gold. Don't go away, folks. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We have the S&P futures up by about 21 points right now, just off the record highs of 63.35. NASDAQ 100 just barely in the red, underperforming a bit. We're off by 0.1%. And right now we're going to jump over to our man Tim Ord. Folks, you can reach Tim every trading day at his website, ord-oracle.com. And don't forget, you can check out, Tim's got a couple outstanding webinars right under the services tab at TFNN.com, the secret science of market tops, how to identify those market tops, and then the 6 secret ratios. He talks about some of those ratios during some of these interviews that we conduct. Tim Ord, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So things are actually looking okay here. First chart, the charts are up, right?
Yep, we got them.
All right. Anyhow, this is the daily SPY, and this is if you go to the very far right over here,
yes,
the far right corner. I did this earlier today. Right now, we're actually hitting new highs on the SPY. But I wanted to point out the bottom window is the SPY VIX ratio, and the top window here is just the daily SPY. And my point is, as the SPY VIX ratio a lot of times leads the SPY. So if the ratio is hitting higher highs, which it has been going on since basically mid-May to current time frame, if you notice, the SPY is also hitting higher highs. But over the last couple of days, the SPs were actually below the previous high. You can kind of see it here. Finally, we're breaking out today to the upside. But the ratio kept on making new highs. So that told me that ultimately we are going to break new highs, and here we are. It's my point. So this ratio so far has not shown any divergence since May. It's gone up and down, but each time it made a high, it made a higher high, and that kept the trend bullish for the SPY. So that's one reason why we're still long here on the SPY. And the next chart is the weekly SPX is in the bottom window, and the top window is the weekly SPX tilt ratio. So it's another ratio, kind of same thing. If you notice here on the SPY, it's probably kind of hard to see, but going in today, we're actually lower than last week's high. Now we're higher, but the ratio was making higher highs pretty much for the whole week here. So that was two reasons. So we're not seeing any short-term divergence, at least not yet. So I have to say the trend is up, and how high is highs is it's probably going to end in some sort of a trading range, in my opinion. But this week, I think tomorrow's still going to be up. I think we're going up and probably at least into mid next week, if not the whole week. I'm just playing as it goes up. If you notice, we don't have it listed here, but I pointed out on my newsletter, trend readings have been staying up around 1.2 and higher. Yesterday we closed at 1.53, day before 107, not ideal. I think we're running around 1.17 right now, and that's bullish. So we got a little panic. We got the SPX tilt ratio bullish. We got the SPX VIX ratio bullish. So how long can this go? Don't know. But
can I
be short here.
Can I jump? So the VIX is awesome, man. And like I talked to you on Tuesday, I think it makes so much sense. And I just looked, since I talked to you on Tuesday, Tim, it's down a full point, which is remarkable, right? It was Tuesday, 1675, almost 1575 right now as we talk to you. And I love the fact that, as the VIX is going down, there's less fear in this market, whatever it, as that market reacts. On the TLT side of that, is there, I was trying to walk my head through in the same way, right? In the TLT, of course, you're talking yields, and so as you get a lower price potentially in the TLT, you might have like some higher yields. Do you think about that ratio relationship wise to why that could be a bullish? In
my opinion, so it's the equity market against the bond market,
right?
So, and the bond market is actually a heck of a lot bigger. But anyhow, the way I look at it is, the SPX is outperforming the tilt ratio. Therefore, the SPX is stronger than the tilt. So there's money going in. The relationship is more money is going into the tilt, because tilt is basically a safe haven.
Sure.
And the equity market is a risk haven.
Yep.
So people are more risk-oriented right now, so they're going into the equity side. That's how
Makes
I
sense.
view it.
That's great. No, that squares as in, that's you either buy in the market or you buy in the bonds, and that's, whether it's just the portfolios, but that's a great answer, man. I appreciate it. It does make sense now that, you got two choices. Yeah. And if the TLT's going down in price, no one's buying it. And where are they buying? They're probably buying the market. And then you compare the two. Okay, perfect.
Right. So if you notice this chart here on the SPX tilt ratio, they were getting scared in here, so they're going into the bond market a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though the equities are still making higher highs, and that was your clue that you're going to have a pullback. Right, and here we don't have that, so they're still going into the equity market.
Pretty awesome.
So, yeah. So
how clear is that on that chart, man? That's awesome. That is about as clear as it gets. That one right there before that sell-off. Yeah.
All right. So anyhow, it's kind of the bigger trend here. This is a weekly. The monthlies kind of look similar. We jumped above the February highs, February highs. Back here in February, we broke it right there. If you notice, volume is 245. Back here in February high was 1.7. So that's a legitimate breakout. So even though we're still going up here, at some point I bet we basically come back down to 210, and I think we go back up and go back down and actually kind of build a trading range here. Then end of the year we start the big rally again. Only reason why I'm saying that, we're pretty much straight up.
Yeah.
Since the April low. And now you're going into July, August, September. A lot of times those are not trending markets. We're still trending in July here, but I bet sometime in July we hit a high. And I think we come back down, in August we try to rally again, but probably the big rally starts, in my opinion, around September, and we'll probably keep going up. But there's a B wave coming up here somewhere. Just because we just trended straight up off the April low. So, I'm not bearish. The worst case scenario, we should find support around 610 on the SPY in that vicinity. A lot of times they break a little bit to scare everybody, but that's my view. We'll trade through right now. It's you should be long. How long you're going to be long, I don't know. We'll let you know when things, hopefully the SPY VIX ratio and the SPY tilt ratio will start showing signs on a short-term basis that we're running out of steam to the upside, and that's when we'll at least get back to neutral.
Sure, and one of the ways that could happen, folks, right, is that the VIX starts going up, and then no matter what the market's doing, that ratio would come down. Tim, can you hang with us? We'll talk some more after the break, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Folks, check out some of those webinars. These ratios we're talking about right under the services tab at TFNN.com. Those 6 secret ratios, man, they're awesome. We're coming back with Tim Ward. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. Tom O'Brien with our man Tim Ward. And yeah, we're about 4 points away on the futures from all-time highs. And I think we're going to talk a little bit of gold now. Is that correct, Tim?
Yep, we're into gold. This is the XAU. Anyhow, my point is the June close on the RSI is 71.30, and this chart goes back to 1988 and shows the times when the RSI closed above 70. All of them marked some sort of a consolidation. I don't think this is going to be anything big. I think we just go back down to support around 575, then back up. And GDX, or this is the XAU, this is kind of like the seniors. I think the seniors are going to correct here, or consolidate more likely, or better word, it's not like correct, we're going to have a big correction. I think this is just a consolidation or an uptrend. But I just want to keep pointing that out, that the seniors, I looked at AEM. AEM looks pretty much like GDX if you look at the pattern. But this is GDX, kind of the same thing. I think a pullback, this high here tested the previous high here. If you notice, the volume really dropped off, tried to break through the previous high, couldn't do it, didn't have enough energy. Then the market pulled back. Then this low right here tested the previous low right here. If you notice, the volume picked up a little bit. Actually, this volume is higher than the previous low. So, and right now we're kind of in limbo. We're not doing a whole lot, but most likely we're going to test this low right here, and probably the volume. This is a month. This is a weekly chart. But anyhow, I think we're going to test this low and higher volume and kind of work ourselves down to the 45 area. And we may get down to 40, I'm not sure. But it's all part of a consolidation. Consolidations are good for the market. So nothing, these are the seniors I think they're going to correct. What I want to get to here is the... I kind of put this on Tuesday, and this is a really good method to pick out stocks. I did this on RIO, which is Rio 2, whatever that is. It's a gold stock. But I wanted to point out that you get buy signals when you close above the monthly mid-Bollinger Band with a sign of strength. That's the reason why I got these arrows here. These are both, the volume before this is the highest volume compared to going back. This is the highest volume for about almost close to about 9 months. So you broke the mid-Bollinger Band at a higher volume, and it has to do with the sign of strength, and that's your buy signal. So anyhow, I pointed that out, that you got a buy signal around here, give or take. If you waited to month in, it's around 30 cents. This one was close to 30 cents too. Anyhow, the market's both won. But anyhow, what I'm getting to is, this is another stock that I own. Same thing happened. If you notice right here, you get a sign of strength through the mid-Bollinger Band. That's your buy signal. So you would have stayed out of the market for the last 2 years on this stock until this month right here of December 2024. If you waited till month end, you paid 6 cents for it, give or take. This is what happens. Well, I wanted to show, because that's history. Well, let's show real time. Here's one for real time. So this is a monthly Brixton Metals Corporation. It's a cheapie. I'm not saying it's not going to go bankrupt. It could, but I'm pointing out that this is a sign of strength through the mid-Bollinger Band, and there it is again right there. So I want to point it out. We can follow this stock going forward, see what happens. But previous times when I use this method, it really has a high probability of winning. Not 100%, but you're pretty good. But what I like about this stock, if you notice, I have some circles here where the previous lows were. The chart goes back to 2019, and we finally broke through those lows back in 2024, and now you have a sign of strength through the mid-Bollinger Band above those previous lows. What that means is if you can't hold below previous lows, try to take out the previous highs. Well, the previous highs gives a target up around this 22, 25 range, and that should be the minimum upside target. So it's about 300%, whatever. But it's doing all of the things it's supposed to do. Even though we had a sign of strength here, it didn't close above the mid-Bollinger Band. Back in these two times here, well, you got to close above the mid-Bollinger Band, but chances are that rally is halfway over, and here you get the buy signal. So anyhow, it works well. So all those people looking for gold stocks to buy, this is a good setup to do that. So it's on the monthly chart, and there's a lot of value to it. So I have a lot of people ask me, well, what method did you use? This is a method I use on the monthly chart to determine buy and sell signals. And you kind of be patient. You're not trying to pick out the exact bottom. You're trying to get where the rally begins. And so what I'm saying here, according to this chart, the rally is beginning now.
Okay.
Will it be higher a month from now? Well, I don't know. It could consolidate for a month. But in general, this is where the rally should start. It's kind of, you go back to this chart, this is where that rally started. And, the next month was, exuberant. But will it be like this one? Don't know. Don't have a crystal ball. But it does work pretty well. An old time trader had told me, it says the most important thing in market technicians is momentum. You have to have momentum on your side. And so the best momentum is on the bigger time frame. So you got to have the big time frames on your side. So momentum, you're looking at a monthly chart of a Bollinger Band. Well, this Bollinger Band midpoint is a 20-day moving average on a monthly time frame. So as long as you're above that mid-Bollinger Band, the trend is up. So anyhow, so
a little high risk, high reward type
risk,
trade.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. I don't know.
No, hey, listen, you're talking to somebody. I always give the updates on the World Series of Poker going on right now, Tim. So
right.
As long as it's a positive expectation, right? I mean, but no, listen, I appreciate the analysis, man. And a lot of times that's some of these equities, if you're looking for those types of returns, of course, there's a little risk associated with it. Of course,
we'll see how it is, but I just got this. I kind of go through my charts all the time. There's a bunch of them more. They're all kind of doing the same thing. These little ones are just, some are already coming off their bottoms, but a lot of them are just starting to come off their bottoms.
And do you set a stop on? Do you set a stop, or do you is your stop? Are you risking, because at 8 pennies, for investors out there, it can go to zero, folks. And but do you for that type of equity for investors? Because you're piquing my interest, of course, looking at those charts. If you're getting into that type, do you put a stop on that type of equity, or when you're messing with something like that, is that kind of your investment, and you're going to let it? How do you approach something like that?
Well, actually, I watch it. It depends how it forms. So, the mid-Bollinger Band's kind of my, the mid-Bollinger Band on this one's 0.068. So I watch that, but I watch how the volume goes. You want to have up volume, or the days are up higher than the down volume. So if this thing backs off and close below the mid-Bollinger Band, but volume's minimal, I hold it. So it's a lot of volume stuff. There's no stop on it, I'll put it that way. So,
yeah, keeping your eye on it. Tim, I appreciate the update, man. Thanks so much. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Tuesday, man.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Folks, check it out, ord-oracle.com for his outstanding newsletter, the Ord Oracle, and that's under the Services tab. 2 outstanding webinars at TFNN, one of them, those 6 secret ratios. We're coming right back, folks. S&P's up by 18.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks, and we got a little bit of selling coming into the closing bell there with the S&Ps. How about that, man? We just gave up 10 quick points. Nonetheless, you're still positive by 14, NASDAQ 100, negative by 40 points. But yeah, we got a little bit of selling coming into the close right now. You jump over to NVIDIA. Can't keep NVIDIA down. Not even close. I think this is the number that has it at 4 trillion. Are we there? We are. 4.002. We're right above that number, man. We've never closed at it. They stay at this number for 5 minutes. You're going to close with a $4 trillion company, first time ever. NVIDIA up $1.31. You talk about it, man. On fire. All right. We're talking trillions. We'll go back and we'll talk millions. And the World Series of Poker. So, pretty remarkable. Now, that you have the main event going on right now, okay? And you got 522 players left, folks. 522. The winner's going to walk with $10 million. There's a couple guys in there that are huge pros. This one gentleman, Stephen Chidwick. This guy's got $68 million in earnings. There's some big players, of course there are. If you're a big player, you play the main event. It's the softest field, biggest tournament of the year. He's got $68 million. Now, $68 million, for some context of how this works, though, okay? These guys go around the world all year playing $100,000 tournaments, $250,000 tournaments, okay? Look up the Triton, Triton, if you want to see high. That's the Triton High Roller. They go to Macau. $68 million, but they play $250,000 tournaments, and there'll be like 50 people in each tournament, right? And a lot of times, they're sharing action with each other to diversify their risks, as in you got 5 buddies, you split it all. And then this gentleman, Isaac Haxton, $55 million. These 2 guys are still in there, along with some other great poker players. And yeah, they're playing down. Day 5 is today. And the leader out there so far, Harold Lamb, at 4.1 million chips. And those 2 guys I just talked about, they're double the average right now. And a pro like that being double the average at that stage of the tournament with 2 million chips, that's some good high-level poker going on. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night. Have a safe night. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for the Morning Market Kickoff. Have a great one, folks.
Building wealth